an overcast day at Marita Hines Field in Norman. The second-ranked Oklahoma Sooners shoot for a 3-game sweep of the Baylor Lady Bears in Big 12 Conference play. Shannon Sale takes a 1.18 earned run average to the circle to start this game for the Sooners, and Sydney Holman for Baylor makes her third start of this 3-game series. Will Grace Green provide more dramatics this afternoon, as the freshman first baseman did last night? With Jocelyn Alo aboard in the bottom of the 5th, she unloaded. 8-0 was the run rule. Mariah Lopez got her 13th win in the circle for the Sooners this season, and it's consecutive home win number 45 for this program. That ties the program record. Alongside former Sooner DJ Mathis, I'm Chad McKee. Seems like the names and faces change over the years, but the ballpark and the coaching staff, headlined by Patty Gasso, do not. What's been the secret to success over all these streaks and all these years for the Sooners?
Coach Gasso has built a tradition here. It's a legacy that has been passed down from class to class, and it just keeps going. I think there were many people who thought, with some of the graduating seniors from last year, Paige Parker, that maybe this pitching staff wasn't going to be as strong. They've come back strong. They may be stronger as a whole, so it's going to be exciting to see them continue today.
Gasso said they will kind of pitch backward and start their closer, Shannon Sale, today. She's the transfer from Florida International, originally out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. ERA of 1.18, DJ. She is a special talent. The Sooners just want to get some more innings for her because she's been so good.
Yeah, and she has put up some really great numbers. Every time she has been in the circle, she has done her job. So a good opportunity for her today to get some innings under her belt. You know, when you have shortened games so often, you know, like we've seen these Sooners have, sometimes it's tough to get your closer in those late innings. So great opportunity for her today to get some good work in.
You mentioned it in the open just a few moments ago. You lose a Paige Parker and a Paige Lowry off this pitching staff, and you worry a little bit. They knew Mariah Lopez was a proven commodity, but with G. Juarez and what Shannon Sale has provided, they're not only good, they're deep. They can go 3 starters with the closer deep, just as they did in previous seasons.
Yes, and that's it's hard to find, it's hard to do, it's hard to find a staff that is as well-rounded as this staff. And, you know, with losing Paige Parker and Paige Lowry, you know, the talent that was there, but also the experience that was there, you know, and you come back with some new faces, and they have not missed a beat.
Just about set to go. Sale, a 6-1 record. This will be her 7th start. She has 4 saves. And Patty Gasso just liked her mentality, kind of a closer's mindset, like a Paige Lowry. That's why it has worked so well. Doesn't mean she won't be the closer moving forward, just some more innings, and you never know. She may have to start games when you get to the postseason and on down the road. Nikki Dawson leads things off. Shortens up, shows bunt, takes a strike.
You know, that's a good, you know, to be able to get starts for Sale and put your other pitchers on your staff in that position to come in late in the game. It just makes it to where everyone's prepared at each moment.
A base hit to start things here for Nikki Dawson. That's Dawson's first hit of the series. She is 1 out of 6 now.
Just saw Sale catch a little bit too much plate, trying to go down and out, and didn't quite get there.
So the leadoff runner is aboard, and Anna Watson, the left fielder, will be the batter. Watson, a freshman from Hewitt, Texas, was 1 for 3 and scored a run on Friday night. Sooners have used Giselle G. Juarez and Mariah Lopez pitching in the first 2 games of this series, each of them getting a win. Lopez's win yesterday, really important. Baylor hit the ball very well on Friday night off of Juarez. 5 hits in 5 innings. She got a win. But then Lopez bouncing the Sooner pitching staff back, so to speak, last night. Her 5th shutout of the year.
She really put together a strong performance yesterday. And, you know, especially coming off, like you said, Chad, off of Friday, you know, Baylor really swinging the bat well and putting pressure on the Sooners. But Lopez coming back yesterday and just making that dominant performance, which gets the momentum on OU side coming into the final game of the series today.
3 balls and a strike to Watson. And a full count now. How different is it, the closer mentality as compared to the starter? It's not completely unfamiliar to Sale. Obviously, this is her 7th start, but different from what's been recent for her.
Yeah, you know, as a starter, you're coming in, you're setting great spot right there. Setting the tone, and that's one way to do it right there with the K. What a great spot, working your way back in this count. We just see her paint the lower outside half of the plate. But, you know, as a starter, it's your job to come in and set the tone for your team. And as a closer, you're coming in and usually coming in sales role with a lead many times. And it's your job to come in and slam the door and work quickly and see minimal batters, maybe face the lineup once. You know, as a starter, you're coming in and just really trying to get your team in that dugout as quickly as possible. And, you know, I think Sale right now, you know, she gave up the base hit to start the game, but then comes right back with the strikeout.
And she's up 0-2 on Cassidy Krupit, the third baseman. Got her swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sale after the leadoff hit by Dawson. Sooner defense. Father Palima Aviu is out in left. Nicole Mendez patrols center field, and Jocelyn Allo is the right fielder. Sid Romero down at third base. Big-time candidate for National Player of the Year. Grace Lyons is at short. It is Kaylee Clifton Day for the Sooner second baseman, and you see that Shea Knighton starts at first base. Grace Green has been down there the first 2 games of this series, but Green will be the designated player, with Shea getting some time at a spot where she's very comfortable, familiar, and very good. First base. Goose McGlawn, the first baseman. And Sale peppers a strike through there. Count evens up at 1-1.
Sale's really doing a great job. She's just hammering the zone. We've seen her change speeds. She's throwing a lot of strikes. Does not look like the start has changed her mentality at all. Coming out looking really solid so far.
1-2 on McGlawn. Goose McGlawn has a couple of hits in this series. It's really the leader of this team, McGlawn, along with Taylor Ellis. So much youth on this roster. 45% of the at-bats this year for the Lady Bears have come from freshmen.
It makes it tough. You know, the great thing for Baylor, though, is the future is bright.
Clifton takes it herself to the bag, inning over, a leadoff single by Nikki Dawson, but the Lady Bears strand one, and the Sooners come to the plate for the first time when we come back to Norman. Well, there is the 4-time national championship winning head coach at Oklahoma, the Hall of Famer Patty Gasso. Said of last night's game, she liked the way they went about things. It was a little more active with quality at-bats than the previous night. Close game 7-5 on Friday. The Sooners in a rout 8-0 yesterday. And here is her lineup presented by Love's Travel Stops. Clean places, friendly faces. Sid Romero, then Fale Aviu and Kaylee Clifton, Shea Knighton, Grace Green, and Jocelyn Allo, and Nicole Mendez, Lindsey Elam, and Grace Lyons. From top to bottom, you see the first 3 hitters are batting over 400. Grace Green as well, and Shea Knighton is close. So you have essentially 5 hitters who are 400 or better. That's how you lead the country in batting, as the Sooners do.
Gosh.
It's crazy.
Well, there's no break. And, you know, you're not just facing power. You're not just facing speed. You are facing a well-balanced lineup. And that makes it difficult to defend. You can't play one-sided. You can't prepare for one thing. You have to defend all sides of the ball. And, you know, that's what Coach Gasso has built with this offensive lineup. It makes it tough.
1-1 the count to Sydney Romero. As always, she has contributed greatly in this series. Smokes this pitch down into the left field corner, but foul. Sid Friday night was 3 for 3 with a home run, 2 runs scored, 3 runs driven in, tripled off the center field wall as well. She has the most hits of any active Division I player. 48 career home runs for Sydney Romero. 1-2 pitch. Slow roller, going to be a tough play for Nikki Dawson. Across to first, but not in time. Oh, yeah, she can run a little bit, too, can Sydney Romero.
That is finding ways to get things done. And it was clear. Full step, she beat that, and she knew it. She knew it the whole way.
Here is Folly of You, having the best season of her career, numbers-wise, and from what Patty Gasso has talked about, in great shape coming in, and it has really paid off.
You can tell she has really dedicated herself to fitness. She's dedicated herself to being, the best ball player that she can. She's had an unbelievable career here thus far, and to come back and, as a senior, make that decision to say, you know what, I'm not done yet. I'm not the best I can be yet. So it takes a special player to, do what she has done as a senior.
And when you're at Oklahoma, there is constantly new talent brought in that's going to push you for playing time. And that certainly was the case for Foley a year ago. Jocelyn Olo out there.
Yeah, and your position's never safe, and that's what makes great teams.
There goes Romero, hit and run, and it's chopped foul. So the count goes to 2-1. Sooners a little movement on the base paths on that 2-0 count.
The hit and run, you gotta love it. It's applying pressure, and Allo just foul there a little bit, but you don't see the bunt. You see, you know what, we're gonna hit and run. We're gonna get runners in motion.
There she goes again. The throw to second by Ellis is not in time. Stolen base for Sydney Romero. It's almost as though they saw the jump that she got on the previous pitch and decided, we'll just go straight steal here.
Yeah, Romero, she's a 5-tool player. She's got the speed. What a great slide there. The throw was a little bit high. I think the throw may have beat her a bit, but the slide, was what got her the stolen base.
She's 5 out of 5 in the stolen base department this year. Aviu swings and misses a strikeout for Holman, her first of the afternoon.
Tough pitch there. Out of the zone a little bit, and I think Ella just got tied up a little bit there on her hands.
So Foley Aviu strikes out for the first out of the inning, and here's Kaylee Clifton. It is Kaylee Clifton Day, and there's a lot of pressure when it's your day, but even more so when you play at Oklahoma.
They have started the tradition. If it is your day, you must hit a home run.
Yeah, everybody who has had their senior day has hit a home run.
I wonder if Baylor knows this.
But Kaylee Clifton has had a great career and a wonderful senior season to this point. She had a triple Friday night, was 1 for 2. Then yesterday, 2 for 3. She's got 9 home runs, batting .419. Last weekend had 3 home runs in the Utah series, and she's been hit by pitch a program record 59 times in her career.
Finding ways on base.
Get the job done. She just has a knack, knows the game so well.
And she's, with everything that she does as a player on the field and the physical abilities that she has, she's just such a great leader. There's so much leadership that comes out of the way that she plays the game, the way that she carries herself.
Patty Gasso put it as such. She's a team captain and wasn't elected team captain by me. That was her teammates.
And that's how it should be. It's she's leading them in the right direction. You can tell that for sure. But she's done so much here, and I think that there's so much respect that these younger players have for not just Kaylee, but have for the senior class and these upperclassmen as a whole. And we talked in the opening about the legacy that's going to be left here. You know, these seniors are going to be passing the torch down to these younger players, and that's going to continue, and that's why this program continues to dominate the way that it has.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Clifton lifts a foul ball out of play. Another sold-out crowd here at Marita Hines Field, as they are throughout the regular season. The temporary bleachers have become a permanent fixture down the first and third base lines, and they are absolutely full. Two downstairs. There's also a nice little feature out in right center field, or it's more like straightaway right field. There's a video board this weekend for replays for the crowds out there. There it is.
Yes. This place is, I mean, if you're looking for a good time on a weekend, this is the place to be. This is where everyone in Norman is, I think.
3-2 in the air, well hit, right center field, and Kaylee Clifton, just as every previous senior this season before her, has homered on her own day.
She didn't waste any time. She was not leaving any suspense. It's Kaylee Clifton day. She's getting a home run out of the way early.
2-run blast for Kaylee Clifton. She's hit 5 home runs in her last 6 games.
She is on fire, and just what a great at-bat. And she worked the count and just drove that pitch the other way. That barely stayed in the entire complex.
Got her family here. In fact, Grandma was part of the home run derby that she put on in batting practice. And Kaylee Clifton gives the Sooners a 2-0 lead and gets a curtain call. It is her day. That is her 10th home run of the year. RBIs 31 and 32. And here is Shea Knighton, who homered on Shea Knighton Day as well. That was yesterday. Homered to left center field in the third of that 8-0 win. The senior from Buena Park, California.
I think that's one of these traditions that's going to be passed down. You must homer on your day.
I mean, that's a lot. 0-1 is outside to Shea. It was Shea Knighton night. Not day, but night. And there it is, left center field and gone. She got hers out of the way fairly early as well in the third, second at bat. One is downstairs. This team is on a record home run pace, and that's saying something for this program. 68 home runs. It is the most through 37 games for any team in Oklahoma history. Just think about that. That's teams with Lauren Chamberlain and Shelby Penley, and the Kalani Ricketts teams as well that could really hit it out.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what this team has done so far as power numbers.
That will not help things. Dawson misplays the ground ball at short, and Knighton is safe at first base. Rest of the Baylor defense. Croupitt is at third. There's Dawson. Hannah Smith is the second baseman. Goose McLawn plays first. Anna Watson, Maddie O'Neill, Josie Bauer the outfield, and Taylor Ellis doing the catching. Ellis has also played short, but she's catching. So many injuries and players playing out of position. That's error number 47 committed by the Lady Bears this season. Sooners have committed 12.
Yeah, and that's...
Ground ball to Smith, and she'll throw it across to McGlawn to get out number 2. Grace Green retired.
We've got Knighton in scoring position here with 2 outs. You know, Sooners, they're coming out aggressive. Grace Green, that's the pitch I think she saw. She felt like she could drive it. Just didn't quite get it into that hole there. But, you know, Baylor's defense having that many errors so far in the season is very, very out of the ordinary for this program.
They have had the Big 12 Defensive Players of the Year in the past. Terrific pitching for Whitney Canyons as Allo hits this one on the screws, but foul down the left field line. Heather Stearns, Whitney Canyon, Lisa Ferguson going back a few years.
And it's a Baylor program that has a lot of tradition. I mean, typically in the top 25, if not the top 10, making World Series appearances. So, I don't think it's tough when you have injuries and things that you can't control.
Although it's a fly ball to right field, run down right near the foul line by Josie Bauer for the third out of the inning. But the Sooners are on the board, and on Kaylee Clifton Day, she produces a home run to the back row in right center field. The Sooners lead it 2-0, headed to the second.
Yes, as many really good teams that have come out of Baylor in the last 10, 15 years, it's so impressive to see that stat be so one-sided in OU's favor.
Yeah, if you think about it, since 2007, Baylor has made 4 appearances in the Women's College World Series. Only Oklahoma in the Big 12 has made more. 6 for the Sooners.
Yeah.
So they have been right there as the number 2 program in the league. Texas has had their years. Oklahoma State's having a good year this season. But Baylor has been steady and consistent under head coach Glenn Moore.
They have, and they haven't gotten the outcomes this season that they were expecting, and but they're continuing to go. It's a long season. There's still quite a bit of conference play to go. So at the very least, with all of the freshmen and underclassmen that are in this lineup, they're getting experience for the future.
Romero, backhanded pick on that ball off the bat of Taylor Ellis, 1 down. And Glenn Moore has talked about, listen, this is about making a positive out of a difficult situation. We've got 7 players out, but just think what these freshmen might be like here in a couple of years. They will be where Baylor has been for the last 10 seasons. He's never had a losing record in a season as a head coach. You've been a head coach, DJ.
Yeah.
That is not easy.
No, and especially playing the competition and playing in the Big 12. And, their RPI is typically, and their strength of schedule is so high up there. It's amazing what Coach Moore has done there at Baylor. So this is a temporary situation for Baylor. I expect to see them back in full force this time next year.
0-2 pitch. 1 hopper hit to short. Lyons makes the put out on Maddie O'Neill. 2 down. So after giving up the leadoff single, Shannon Sale has retired the last 5 Baylor Lady Bears hitters.
And she came back and just settled down. She's working quickly. She's thrown minimal pitches so far in this inning. We're seeing her change speeds and get these Baylor hitters off balance.
Here's Josie Bauer. And Sale paints the outside edge with the pitch to the freshman from Spring, Texas.
Something I love that Sale does so well, she's a horizontal pitcher. She works left and right. She changes speeds. Oof.
Crowd didn't like that. No swing call.
They will make sure they let them know, too. But, she doesn't let hitters get comfortable. She's very particular with what she does and the way that she sets up hitters. And we see her change speeds again there.
And she works a 1-2-3 second and has retired 6 straight batters. 2-0 Sooners headed to the bottom of the second inning. Sooner softball is presented by the OU Extended Campus. Another Sooner home run today coming from Kaylee Clifton this time. In the bottom of the first inning, a 2-run shot for CC. And that brings the Sooners home run total to 70. We've got 18 run rules and 291 runs. Ahead of the pace of the 2013 and 2015 teams at this point in the season through 36 games. Now they're in their 37th. The numbers are just astounding. You could go through and you could mention one about every minute and a half and fill the entire broadcast.
Yeah, this graphic right here, that's amazing to me. I mean, we're talking about teams, too, that had the all-time record-setting home run leader in Lauren Chamberlain, who was putting up monster home run numbers just by herself. And we still have a lot of games left, so it's going to be mind-blowing what these numbers end up.
Sooners have won 45 straight games here at Marita Hines Field, tying the program record dating back to the 2000-2002 season. 24 straight wins overall. Only losses to Florida State and UCLA, who were ranked 1 and 2 respectively at the time. That pitch fouled off the foot of Nicole Mendez, the old hot foot.
Yeah, that's gonna take a minute.
Nicole batting .403 this season.
That's tough, getting right there on the inside of the foot.
Two and 1 to count to Mendez. Big 12 Freshman of the Year 2 years ago. Back up the middle, and she responds after fouling one off her instep. She sends one into center field.
You gotta love it, you know, coming right back, sending it right back up the middle. You know, usually as a pitcher, you love to see a hitter foul a ball off the ankle, foul a ball off the foot, and you're kind of going, I've got him. And, you know, Mendez coming back and driving the ball right back up the middle.
Here's Lindsey Elam. Showed bunt. The pitch is a little bit upstairs from Sydney Holman. Holman is a redshirt sophomore from Belton, Texas. She's a transfer to Baylor from Temple College, as you see Lindsey Elam, the sophomore from Chickasha. But Sydney Holman starting her 3rd game in the circle for Baylor in this series. She has started 10 straight games.
And she has thrown a lot. She has kind of taken the bulk of the innings for Baylor this year.
In fact, she leads the Big 12 in innings pitched. And the reason for the heavy workload is the injury to Gia Rodoni, who had off-season knee surgery and really wasn't ready when the season started. So they're giving her a full year to get recovered from that. And Gia Rodoni expected back as a senior next year. But that's made Holman have to work even harder. And Glenmore was saying it's really not fair to her. You don't get an idea of how good she can be because she's had to been used so much. Fly ball into right center field. Caught by the right fielder Bauer. Mendez goes back to second as the throw gets away at third. But Mendez is going to stay put. Elam flies out for the first out.
I know it's simple and it's small, but that's good base running by Nicole Mendez. You know, the fly ball was too shallow. She was probably no way she was going to tag, but drawing the throw with the hard lead back off after the tag, and almost was able to take third on something that, you know, should have been.
Grace Lyons hits this one hard to straightaway center and over the head of O'Neal. Mendez had to wait to make sure the ball wasn't caught, but it won't matter. She scores easily from second on a double by Grace Lyons, and the Sooners lead 3-0.
Getting the production out of the bottom half of your lineup is part of the reason these Sooners have been so tough. You've got runners in scoring position, and that ball almost left the yard. But Grace Lyons coming up in the 9-hole and producing with the double is just big time coming from the freshman.
Grace Lyons with her 5th double and 18th run driven in. This pitch swung on and hit in the air toward left by Romero. Drifting to it is Anna Watson, 2 down. So Romero, after singling and scoring in the first, flies out to left. That brings in Foley of View.
You know, these two, they have come out swinging. They look comfortable in the box. They're being aggressive. Now, good thing for Holman, she's not having to throw a ton of pitches because these Sooners aren't getting very deep in counts. They're coming out swinging early.
Foley of View struck out swinging her first time. Foley, as she has done throughout her career, she has that split-handed grip on the bat handle there. Probably an inch or two space between her bottom hand and her top hand.
You know, and that's something, there's some people out there who are teaching that now, and I think, you know, for someone like Foley, personally, for her, it makes her feel like she has better bat control. That is the style, that is the mechanic that works best for her. Now, it doesn't work for everyone, you know, and, you know, if you look at these Sooner hitters and you watch their swings, they are all mechanically sound. But there's going to be some small things that are a little bit different because each of them has something that makes them tick. Each of them has something for them that makes them the hitter that they are. You know, and for Foley, you see that split grip.
Well, she's hitting .402 as she stands in. The split grip works for her.
Yes, it does. And
1-2 pitch from Holman, back up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Around third, toward the plate comes Lyons. The throw by O'Neill will be cut off. And Foley of View drives in another Sooner run. It's 4-0.
We are seeing some hard hit balls. Again, these Sooners are comfortable in the box. I think that may have gotten, nope, just missed Holman. But they're not letting up, just continuing to apply pressure.
So it's 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning, and here's Kaylee Clifton, who hit a 2-run home run back in the first.
You know, and something with this Baylor team, you know, we've seen many Baylor teams over the years, and they've always kind of had this persona about them. They work quickly, they run, they're aggressive. Waco is one of the toughest environments to play in, and, you know, I think, especially for these upperclassmen, this is a position they've never been in, and I think you can kind of see it at times when you're watching them. There's just not quite that energy, that aggressiveness, yes, that you're used to seeing from this Baylor team.
Clifton deep to right, it's off the wall. A View waved around third by Coach Patty Gasso, and Kaylee Clifton has her second triple of the series. An RBI triple off the right field wall. 5-0 Sooners. How about Kaylee Clifton Day?
She's having a blast. You can, again, opposite field, just letting the ball get deep and driving it. And again, I mean, we're talking inches away from being her second home run of the day. I mean, she is seeing the ball well. That's one way to have a senior day.
Well, the longtime pitching coach, Brittany Sneed-Newman, is out for a visit with Sydney Holman here. The injuries have trickled down to the coaching staff. Mark Lumley, who has been with Glenn Moore throughout their tenure at Baylor, he is not with the team. He is recovering from a hip surgery, and Steve Jonigan is now with the team. There's Brittany Sneed-Newman, who's battling a bad hip of her own.
You know, that stuff matters. It trickles down into, you know, just the flow, the feel of the season, the feel of your team. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Baylor and some of the things that they've had to tackle, but, you know, they're going to be stronger for it.
Here's Shay Knighton, safe on an error, her first time up. So Kaylee Clifton has driven in 3 runs today. Now 33 on the season. That was her 4th triple of the year and 2nd of this series. Knighton, a bouncing ball to short, and that's misplayed. Yeah, the Lady Bears just having all sorts of difficulty. They have put Ellis out at short now and moved some things around defensively, but it has not mattered. That's the 2nd error at shortstop, and the Sooners get another run.
You know, and tough play. We see Ellis kind of coming in, trying to catch the ball on the run, and just slipping under her glove there a bit. But again, somewhere here, this Baylor defense has to stop the bleeding.
The pitch a little bit low. Sooners get the run on the error and lead 6-0.
Walking into the second inning, Holman hadn't thrown a ton of pitches. We're game 3 of the series, bottom of the second. She's already getting close to that 50 pitch mark, and we still have quite a bit of game to go.
Knighton at first. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch over, but a little bit low. So Croupitt is at third. Ellis is at short. Dawson has gone from short to second. McGlawn is still at first. .30 is right down the hopper. Casey Shell is now catching, with Ellis going from behind the dish to short.
Just bouncing things around, trying to find something, something that can stick.
Check swing, but Grace Green went around, says James Colsey, the plate umpire. He's not going to win any fans.
They are not, and that's a good pitch right there under the knee. It's a really, really good pitch. I know our OU fans are unhappy about the call, but that is solid placement by Holman.
Green fouls this one up the third base side past Coach Patty Gasso, right in her neighborhood. Sooners 2 runs in the first on a 2-run home run by Kaylee Clifton, and they've tacked on 4 more here in the second. Lions of View and Clifton have all driven in runs. 3-2. Up and over, foul. The Medieval Fair is going on this weekend. Did you see that across the street?
I did. I caught some of the traffic coming in.
That's the fun part about the Medieval Fair, is the traffic. Did you ever take part in medieval days activities when you were a student?
You know what? Every now and then, because it always wound up that the Medieval Fair was always going on when we had a home series.
This is driven to right by Green. That's a base hit. Knighton will stop at second. Green's first hit.
Good at bat by Green. We saw her working that count 3-0. Holman getting back in there and again just fouling pitches off until she got one that she could drive. I think.
Looks like maybe Glenn Moore's going to make a pitching change, and he will. With that pitch count getting up high. Goose McGlawn is the new pitcher for the Lady Bears, and the first pitch to Jocelyn Allo is fouled out of play down the right field line. Quick pitching change there. So McGlawn comes in to do the pitching. Hannah Smith is now playing first base for Baylor.
McGlawn hasn't seen many innings this season. She's a staple in the starting lineup, leading the Bears offensively. But give Holman a break. Get some innings for McGlawn, because they're going to need her as the season continues, and see if you can't, with a 6-run lead for OU right now, let some of your other arms rest until maybe you can see if you can get on the board.
Hello hits it to third, and the force play is on there. Cassidy Croupitt steps on the bag, inning over. 4 more Sooner runs and a 6-0 lead headed to the third. Alongside the former Sooner DJ Mathis, I'm Chad McKee. Welcome back to Norman, where the Sooners lead the Baylor Lady Bears 6-0 after 2 innings. Oklahoma going for the sweep and a program record 46th consecutive home win. First pitch is swung on and popped up right into the glove of Grace Lyons. Kendall Cross is the first out in the third inning. And that's 7 straight retired by Sale since giving up a leadoff single to Nikki Dawson.
And she is really throwing well. She's hitting her spots. She is mixing speeds well and keeping these Baylor hitters off balance. But she's just on her work. She's out there. She's working quickly.
Hannah Smith fouls this pitch back.
And it's good to see, too, Sale have the opportunity to get out here and get some innings and get some good work in. She has been really throwing well so far.
Pop-up foul. 0-2 to Hannah Smith, who's now playing first base. Lady Bears have shuffled things around defensively. They've committed a couple of errors and made a pitching change in the early going. Smith was 1 for 2 yesterday. Sophomore out of Baylor, Texas. Swing and a miss. 2 down.
It's a great pitch. We see Sale, she works down in the zone quite a bit, and getting here ahead in the count. You see her kind of angling that curveball up a bit on the outer half. It's a really great spot.
And that is her 3rd strikeout. Back to the top of the order for Dawson, who had the base hit to start the game. Slashes this one into left field. Nikki Dawson 2 for 2.
Dawson is seeing Sale well today. She's come out, she's seen 2 pitches, lined 2 pitches, and again, see that pitch on the outside corner, just elevated just a bit. I don't think that Sale is getting to that spot that she's trying to hit with Dawson.
She had retired 8 straight Baylor hitters before that. And Anna Watson is the batter. Watson struck out looking her first time.
You know, the best part about facing this Baylor, top of this Baylor lineup, is getting those quick 2 outs. As a pitcher, what a great pitch right there.
She went around.
But if you, as a pitcher, if you can take care of the bottom half of the lineup and face, you know, the heart, the top half of this lineup, your major producers with 2 outs, I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on the top of this lineup to get things done. You know, if you allow, a lot of times we see pitchers get in trouble, is allowing the bottom half of the lineup to kind of set the table. And Sale has not allowed Baylor to do that today.
Strike 3 swinging. So Dawson gets the 2-out single, but a strikeout, the 4th of the game for Shannon Sale. EDU and a 6-0 Sooner lead as they come back to the plate. First pitch swinging. Nicole Mendez drives one out into right field.
Staying aggressive. First pitch, Mendez sees it and just pounds it into the ground and uses the dirt.
So Mendez with a base hit to right, her 2nd hit of the day. And Lindsay Elam will be the batter. Well, the Sooners going to pinch hit here. I beg your pardon. So the Sooners pinch hit. And Kylie Lundberg will get an at-bat. So here is Lundberg, her 18th game. Batting .231, 3 out of 13 at the plate. And this one is up and away to Kylie, senior from Lakewood, California. She had 4 multi-RBI games a year ago. That's ripped out into right by Lundberg. She has a base hit. Mendez with really good speed churns all the way around to third base. And the Sooners right back at it. Runners at first and third and nobody out in the 3rd.
McGlon is not fooling these hitters. You see them turning. Mendez having to, that ball was hit hard. Mendez having to kind of dodge it there a bit on her way to third base.
So first and third, nobody out. Grace Lyons drills this one right into the glove of Ellis. The throw to first is in time as Lundberg couldn't get back to the bag safely. It's a double play. 6-3 a line out. That's huge for Goose McGlon and the Lady Bears.
That's a huge out, and I tell you what, that is a tough play. There's not a lot that Lundberg could have done. That ball was smoked. can't hit a ball much better than that, but great play there by Ellis, giving Baylor a little bit of momentum here, trying to get out of this inning.
First pitch a little bit outside to Sydney Romero. Sid is 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the first and fly to left in the second inning. To right field, base hit. And that gets past the right fielder Bauer. And Romero takes second as Mendez scores the 7th Sooner run. Sydney Romero's first RBI comes on her second hit of the day.
Again, another hard hit ball, and something these Sooners do so well is hit the ball where it's pitched. And a bit of a misplay there by Baylor. You know, that ball was hit hard. I appreciate going for the catch, but at the same time, too, keep that ball in front. Realize that you're not going to make the catch. Keep that ball in front. Try to keep Romero on first base and out of scoring position.
It has been scored a double, so no error on the play. Just a double for Romero and an RBI. For Sydney, that is her 10th double. 38th run driven in. Here's Foley. A little bit too tall. A run on 3 hits here in this inning. Sooners with a 7-0 advantage, going for the sweep. That's a base hit to center by Foley of View that scores Romero, and it's 8-0.
Again, Sooners doing it with 2 outs. And we had the line drive double play that we kind of thought may get Baylor out of the jam. But here comes the top of this lineup, finding ways to get it done. You've got 2 outs, 2 big clutch RBIs.
So the Sooners tack on a pair more. They do so with 2 outs in the inning. 2 runs on 4 hits here in the third, and maybe not done yet, because Kaylee Clifton is having a day on Kaylee Clifton Day. Home run in the first, a triple in the second.
I don't want to see any of these Sooner hitters right now, but as well as Clifton has hit the ball today, as well as she has hit the ball in the series, this is not who I want to see at the plate right now.
And that pitch is inside. A throw down to first, caught by Smith. Foley of View back in safely. Clifton is 5 out of 7 in the series. Homered today. She has 2 triples this weekend.
You know, and triples are not something that you come by too often. You know, you gotta find a gap. You've got to hit the ball right down the line. You know, you've got to have a little bit of speed to go along with it. But to see 2 in one weekend, you know, that's not something you see much.
And there is ball 4 to Kaylee Clifton. Down to second goes A View. Looks like Patty Gasso's going to maybe pinch hit here. Yes, she will. Walks down the line. And Sammy Skelly will bat for Shea Knighton.
Good opportunity here for Skelly. Got runners in scoring position. Again, continuing to, there's so much depth on this OU roster, on this OU team, to get at bats, get opportunities for other players. I mean, your number's going to get called at any given time.
So Skelly, this is the 18th game in which she has appeared. She's 5 out of 10 at the plate this year, with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Boy, you said, don't know who you would want to face in the regular lineup. I don't know who you would want to face even when you go to the bench.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen Lundberg pinch hit and get a hit.
Good problem to have.
Yes, it is.
You know, we were talking about, you know, some of the unfortunate events that have kind of struck Baylor with injuries. You know, heaven forbid if something like that had ever happened here. You know, there's, like you said, so much depth.
That throw at first gets away, and A View's going to scoot on down to third. score a third error of the game against the Lady Bears.
Got her right there in the face mask.
It did. Looks like she's okay.
Of all people, Kaylee Clifton, she gets hit in the box, getting hit on the base paths.
The ball finds her.
Yes, it does.
She's a magnet. The 3-1 is fouled back by Skelly.
Skelly's put some good swings on the ball. We saw her just a moment ago swing through a pitch, but it was a good swing. She was right on it and just missed it. Kind of the same thing there, fouling the ball straight back. She's really putting some good swings on these pitches.
3-2, foul back. Sooners have not lost a conference series since 2011. Now, they've had some back in the old days when you were playing a few years ago.
Old days.
Back a few years ago. Where there were only 2-game series with some of the Big 12 teams. And there were some splits of those.
Yeah, and they actually call those tying a series, if you will. But, you know, the good thing about getting that 3-game set is it eliminates all, you know, kind of the undecided. It eliminates all of it. There will always be a winner of a series. And, you know, it's good. It's good for the conference. It's good, you know, for the sport moving forward. But, yep, back in my day, it was only 2-game set.
The good old days.
Yes,
Skelly puts a charge into this one. And Sammy Skelly has just hit a 3-run home run.
And you could see that coming again. The foul ball, the swing and miss. She was right on every single one of those pitches. And she was just fouling balls off until she got the one she could drive. And she drove that, I tell you what.
Sammy Skelly with another Riverwind Sooner home run. Riverwind still the one.
And I think every home run we've seen today has been opposite field. And I think that one left the complex altogether.
Yeah, it's up by those tennis courts, I think. They may find that at the medieval fair later. She is not immune to hitting home runs. Well, that's got to make JT Gasso happy.
Well, just everything today that this offense has done. I mean, even their outs have been hard outs. We've seen quality at-bats. And talking about the numbers this offense has put up, you know, you see the pinch hit, and it's, you know, 3-run home run. I mean, that's just not, it's going to be amazing to see. There's just no break, whether it's a pinch hitter, the 9-hole.
This one in the air to right off the bat of another Sooner pinch hitter. Reagan Rogers flies out to end the inning. 8 Sooner hitters producing 5 runs and an 11-0 lead. A lot of other defensive changes out there. Looks like Aaliyah Flores is now down at third base for Sidney Romero. Reagan Rogers is in center now with Nicole Mendez having come on to do the pitching. So the Sooners getting a lot of new faces in new places. There's Aaliyah Flores down there. Kinsey Kelso is doing the catching as well for Lindsey Elam. And Mendez misses with ball 2. There's Kinsey Kelso. And there is Reagan Rogers in center. Krupit did hold up on that pitch from Mendez, and it's 3-0. Cassidy Krupit struck out her first time against Shannon Sale. Sale 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, both of them to Nikki Dawson. No runs. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Krupit to start the 4th.
I mean, Sale really had a good outing today. And again, Mendez here coming in for the final potentially 2 innings of this game to again, just finish on a strong note. Give a different look. We're seeing Mendez from the left side, but give a different look to these Baylor hitters.
This is driven out into left field by McGlawn. And runners are at first and second for the Lady Bears here in the fourth.
And Baylor's not going to quit. We see this pitch just catch quite a bit of plate there. Didn't quite get that in where it needed to be.
Well, Mendez last pitched out in the Utah series last weekend when an inning and 2/3 gave up a hit and no runs. That swung on and missed.
And Mendez has good stuff. She throws well. She gives, again, a different look than what you see from some of the other pitchers on staff. And again, she's a great tool to have. So good opportunity here to kind of continue to keep her sharp.
1-1 the countdown. Taylor Ellis grounded out to the third baseman at the time, Sidney Romero, back in the second. Good pitch from Mendez. Pulled the string.
And she changes speeds so well. The deception, you couldn't see it coming at all, and you just see her throw that changeup out of the back of her hand, down and out. It's a great, great pitch. There it is again.
Off the end of the bat to short. Nicely done by Lyons. That's actually Romero, who's playing short now. There was a change we weren't notified of.
And that's a great play. And that's a tough play, too. That ball was not hit very hard. You see the high hop. Romero got on that quickly and got it in and out of the glove. That's a tough play.
One away on the put-out by Sidney Romero. Sooners have switched just about every position. That's Alexa Schultz, who's out in left. So let's see. The only three players who are in the same spot they were last inning are Allo in right, Clifton at second, and Shea Knighton at first base. Other than that, everybody's different.
Yeah, again, it's keeping everybody sharp. It's pushing other players. You're going to get an opportunity to come in and do your job. And again, that's how you break your way into the lineup. It's also how, this program continues to reload year after year.
Well, that's nicely done by Romero there to look the runner back to third and get the out on Maddie O'Neill.
And Romero not skipping a beat over at shortstop.
She's just having fun, is what she's doing.
Yes, she's, and nothing here. They could do. That ball was not hit very hard. Romero gets on it quickly and holds that runner at third.
They do have fun.
Yes, they do.
Mendez deals a strike. Patty Gasso was saying before the game. She went back, said they get so busy during the season, it's hard to go back and watch a lot of the television broadcasts. That and sometimes the announcers are annoying. Right? But she said she went back and watched just to watch her team's energy and the fun that they were having. And they certainly were. How about Romero? She moves to short, takes care of all three outs in the fourth inning. She can do it all. Bears lead 2. Sooners 11. Baylor nothing. Headed to the bottom of 4. Well, a full home crowd enjoying an 11-0 Sooner lead. And their team coming to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. Leading off will be Jocelyn Allo. Jocelyn 0 for 2 today. First pitch ran in and hit her. So Jocelyn Allo down to first.
Not the way McLeod would have wanted to start this inning. I think the ball may have slipped out of her hand. It bounced pretty far in front of home plate. And I think that ball slipped. Just
So they give Alo a moment to make sure she's ready. And she's in good shape. Audrey LaValle now pinch hitting for Nicole Mendez. LaValle's 8th at bat of the year. She's got 3 hits in her previous 7 trips to the plate. And now she has another. That was smoked. Alo around to third on a base hit by Audrey LaValle.
We're just seeing production from every hitter who steps in the box, regardless of if they were in the starting lineup. It's a pinch hit, and again, hard hit balls. I mean, that single was driven straight back up the middle. You can't hit a ball much better than that.
Sooners with 13 hits and 11 runs now. Snap throw down to first. Kinsey Kelso getting an at bat here. The new catcher. Lindsey Elam flied to right in this spot in the order, and then Kylie Lundberg had a base hit in this same spot. Kelso drives in another run. Around second base and headed to third is LaValle. Kinsey Kelso drives in a Sooner run with that base hit. And that is her 4th RBI of the year. 12-0 Oklahoma.
See that pitch? McLeod just not hitting her spot. And Kelso made her pay. Again, it's interesting. You see 3 different batters in that 7-hole today. And, you know, coming up with the pinch hit, base hits, the pinch hit RBIs.
Looks like the Lady Bears are going to make another pitching change. Red Carpet Charters brings you this look at upcoming Sooner home athletic events. Red Carpet Charters is the official motor coach carrier of Sooner Athletics. And some baseball happening just across campus over at L. Dale Mitchell Park. The Sooners and the TCU Horned Frogs have split the first 2 games of their series. They are just underway with Game 3. Skip Johnson's baseball team is back for midweek action on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you've got men's tennis next weekend. The first pitch from the former third baseman Cassidy Krupit goes to the backstop behind the new Sooner hitter here, Elia Flores. A wild pitch, and it's 13-0. LaValle scores. Flores takes a strike. Krupit, just her 7th appearance. She's pitched 6 1/3 innings this year.
You know, when you see Krupit come in, we just saw McLeod for a couple innings. You know, we're seeing players who are generally playing other positions day in and day out. Maybe, you know, didn't necessarily have the intention of, you know, pitching necessarily when they went to Baylor. You know, it's not something you see very often, of seeing multiple pitchers who play other positions who are spending time in the circle.
There are Krupit's numbers. Opponents hitting .522 as she hits Flores. Sydney Romero, who we saw get all 3 outs from her position at shortstop during the last half inning. At the plate today, 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the third. 13-0 Sooners. And that ball bounces away, but no advancement by either base runner.
You know, Krupit's really having a hard time here. We're seeing wild pitches, hit batters. She's really got to find the zone here and try to find an opportunity to get Baylor out of this inning. You know, and some of the pitching struggles that we've seen this year for Baylor, again, just very very out of the ordinary.
Popped up, foul. That'll reach the seats. 2-1 to Romero. Alyssa Avalos is now playing left for the Lady Bears, and there she is, tracking this one, but can't find it. Runners had to hold up briefly, but they will move station to station, and it'll be a base hit for Sid Romero.
That's a pretty good change of speeds there by Kripa, and I think she fooled Romero. That's a good pitch, and you kind of see Romero get out in front of that. You know, we see Baylor's shortstop kind of quit on the ball, and she needed to continue to go back, and go for the catch until you heard her outfielder call her off.
It's the third Sooner hit of the inning. The hit parade continues. Sid Romero now has 3 hits today. She's 3 out of 4. Alexa Schultz batting in the number 2 spot. 2-0 the count. Talia View had previously hit second and was 2 for 3. Off-speed pitch, misses. 3-0.
And Krupa has a good changeup. We've seen it a couple times here in this inning. It's a good pitch.
17 different Sooners have played today. And there's ball 4 that forces home the 14th run. Bases loaded walk to Schultz.
You know, what a great opportunity. You know, big series, sold out crowd, trying to get every person in this lineup, get them some experience. You know, so that way when their name is called in a pressure situation, you know, they're ready for it. And they have been, you know, getting at bats, getting opportunities, and just that's what good teams do. They, no matter who is in the box, who is, you know, playing short, they're still producing, still getting the job done.
Kaylee Clifton takes high. Kaylee has homered and tripled in this game. 2 for 2, 3 runs scored and 3 runs batted in. Romero has 3 hits. Aviu has 2 hits. Clifton has 2. Nicole Mendez has 2 hits.
This has been, I think JT and Coach Gasser are going to have to really pick apart some of these at-bats today to find some things wrong. We have really seen some really good at-bats and just manufacturing of runs. We've seen the long ball. We've seen single after single after single with 2 outs to produce runs. I mean, this has just really been just a clinic that these hitters have put on today.
Two and 2 now to Kaylee Clifton. Lady Bears still looking for their first out here in the 4th. Sooners have posted 3 more runs. And Kaylee Clifton, guess what? Hit by pitch again. That will force in run number 15.
We're seeing the wheels fall off a little bit here for Baylor in the circle. Again, Krupa just needs to settle down, use that changeup. She's got a really, really good off-speed pitch, throw strikes.
Flores scores on the hit by pitch. It is Romero at third, Schultz at second. Clifton with that RBI, her 3rd of the game, is at first. Shea Knighton re-enters and bats here. And 2-0. Knighton reached on an error her first 2 plate appearances, both at short.
And good opportunity here for Knighton to, I mean, she's been on base and has found a way to get some things done, but she hasn't squared anything up yet today.
Lady Bears are going to make another pitching change, their third here in this inning. We will reset things when we come back to Norman. Sooners on top 15-0 here, bottom of the fourth inning, and Baylor will turn back to its original starting pitcher today, Sydney Holman. She completes these warm-up tosses. Here's the road ahead, presented by your Central Oklahoma Buick GMC dealers. We are professional grade. It is almost all on the road the rest of the way for the Sooners, at Kansas, at Texas, at Wichita State, and at Iowa State. And we'll tell you why that is here in just a moment as Holman gets ready to go to work against Shea Knighton and deals a strike. So Oklahoma's series with Iowa State last year was scheduled for Ames, but there was snow on the ground. Imagine that. And so it was moved here. So the Sooners have to go to Ames back-to-back years, this year and next year. So that takes out a home series. There's only one home game remaining, and that'll be against Oklahoma State as Knighton hits a fly ball to right. Watson catches that one. Romero tags at third and scores 16-0 Sooners, and Shea Knighton drives in a run.
Good to see Knighton square a ball up and do her job. Again, bases loaded. She hit that ball well, getting the deep fly ball for the sac fly. Yeah, the rest of the Sooner schedule's tough. I mean, that's especially during conference, being on the road that much.
Oklahoma on top. Reagan Rogers flied out to right when she pinch hit back in the third. She's the 9th Sooner batter here in the inning. 5 runs here in the fourth. They had 5 in the third as well. Rogers hits a comebacker. Holman gets the out at first base. 2 down.
You know, you got to hand it to Holman. Starting the game, you're having a rough outing, and then coming back here after 2 pitching changes, having a tough inning here for Baylor, and getting 2 quick outs to try to salvage, you know, what's left of this game for Baylor.
She's now gone 2 1/3 innings total in this game and faces Allo. Jocelyn is 0 for 2, been hit by a pitch and scored a run. So only one more home game for the Sooners in the regular season. That'll be against Oklahoma State on May 4th. Then you would have regionals and super regionals. And Oklahoma, number 2 team in the country, well in position to host all the way to Oklahoma City if they make it that far. Holman takes care of another comebacker, inning over. 10 Sooner batters come to the plate, 5 more runs across, and Oklahoma goes for the run rule win when you come back for the top of the 5th. Welcome back to Norman. The Oklahoma Sooners a 16-0 lead over the Baylor Lady Bears, going for a 3-game sweep and also going for the 46th consecutive home win, which would set a new program record. See that streak from 2000 to 2002. Today will be consecutive win number 46. And on to try to finish it is G. Juarez. Giselle, the junior from Glendale, Arizona, who's been brilliant this year. 15 wins, including 1 over Baylor back on Friday night.
You know, and at the beginning of this game, Coach Gasso talking about, you know, with Sale getting the start, and we've typically seen her in a closing role. And today we're seeing G come in to close the game out. You know, it's a different mindset a little bit, but it's at the same time, too, it gets this staff prepared for anything at any given time.
1-1. Juarez spectacular numbers. 15 wins is the most in the Big 12, an ERA of 1.66, which is 5th in the conference. That pitch down and away. Got knocked around a little bit by Baylor back on Friday. Gave 5 runs, most she's given this year.
Yeah, you know, not the best we've seen G against Baylor on Friday, but you know that happened. She found a way to get the win, found a way to keep her team in position to get the win. So it's good for G to get back out there today and finish the series strong moving into next week.
114 strikeouts and 20 walks. That one in on the hands. Clifton will pick up the roller. One away. Kaylee Clifton has homered, tripled, and driven in 4 runs on Kaylee Clifton Day. That's the way you draw it up.
Again, we've seen that from each senior. It's been so awesome to watch, and we've been lucky enough to see it happen here live. But you know, each of them have had unbelievable days on their senior days.
2-hopper to Sid Romero, and the Sooners are an out away from a sweep and consecutive home win number 46, a program record.
Now, to tell you what, just going almost 2 years without a loss on this field. And again, the last time it had been done was by that 2000 national championship team. I'll tell you what, these young women are in good company to be, you know, surpassing such an unbelievable team.
Nikki Dawson's been the bright spot today for the Lady Bears. She has 2 of their 3 hits. It would be 25 straight wins on the season for the Sooners. It's the 4th longest stretch in program history. And 31 straight Big 12 conference games. I could go on and on. I really could.
It's just dominance. I mean, I can't think of a better word for it than dominant.
1-1 to Dawson. Incidentally, the Big 12 championship, you and I will be calling some of the games in that. That will be played in Oklahoma City again this year. Tickets are kind of limited. There's construction going on at the Hall of Fame field, and so we'll play on Integris Field, so you'll want to get your seats. Diving in comes Schultz, and she has to play it on a hop. That's 3 hits for Nikki Dawson today.
But Dawson has had a day. Tell you what, great effort there by Schultz, and she almost caught it going in for the slide catch, but good job of keeping the ball in front and holding Dawson to a single.
Sooners in position for their 19th run rule of the year. Think about that. That would be 35 wins, 19 of them by run rule, and their 15th shutout as a pitching staff.
You know, it's when you're going out, you know, getting the W is, you know, clearly, obviously what you're after. But to do it in the fashion that they have done it, of run rules, shutouts, I mean, there's just no weak spot, and it's intimidating. I mean, you know, to not just get beat, but to get run ruled, not just get beat, but to get shut out. I mean, it sets a completely different vibe for the opposing team.
Now the Sooners also going to move to 6-0 in the Big 12. Oklahoma State's having a good year. They are 7-2. Texas is 6-3 coming into today's action. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's up and away to Watson.
I'm looking forward to those series. That's going to be fun. You've got the Red River rivalry, and then we've got Bedlam. You know, those are going to be some really exciting series.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Juarez and the Sooners are an out away now from 46 straight home wins. Strike 3 called, and this ballgame is over. The Oklahoma Sooners set a program record with their 46th consecutive win at Marita Hines Field. They've won 25 straight games overall on the season, and the Sooners able to sweep the Baylor Lady Bears here this weekend. Welcome into the Sooners softball postgame show. It's brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Proud partner of Oklahoma Athletics. G. Juarez comes in, gets the final 3 outs in the 5th inning. The Sooners 2 runs in the 1st, 4 in the 2nd, and 5 apiece in the 3rd and 4th innings. 15 total hits on the day, and it's a sweep of the Baylor Lady Bears.
What a way to go into the record book. You've got the run rule. You've got the shutout. We saw power. We saw an absolute offensive show today by the Sooners in setting that record with 46 straight wins here.
Well, the scoring got started in the bottom of the first for the Sooners on Kaylee Clifton Day, the senior, being recognized. And not just the 250 posters that were handed out that you'll probably sign after the game, but this home run. Now, every Sooner senior has homered on their day. It's crazy.
Kept going today.
Sammy Skelly in a pinch hitting role in the bottom of the third hits this 3-run home run with Romero and a view aboard. That made it 11-0, and they would enjoy the pitching of Shannon Sale, who got a start today. She's been the closer recently, but she goes 3 scoreless innings and just gives up a couple of hits with 4 strikeouts.
And she was really solid. She was on her work, making good pitches, and just set the tone for this win today.
Your Taco Mayo game recap now. Taco Mayo, fresh mix, fresh ingredients, built to order. Sooners order up a 16-0 win. Sale the 3 innings. Holman will take the loss, and Kaylee Clifton had a double, a triple, drove in 4 runs. She had 2 triples in the series and a couple of hits, 3 hits, I beg your pardon, for Sid Romero, who played both third base and shortstop today.
Yeah, the seniors today, on Kaylee Clifton Day, but the seniors today were really impressive to watch. Kaylee Clifton had a great day. We just saw a little bit of everything, and the seniors kind of led the way for that this afternoon. 18
different Sooners played in this game. It is Oklahoma's 19th run rule win in 35 wins this season. The pitching staff records its 15th shutout as well. 25 straight wins on the season for the second-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, and a program record 46 consecutive wins at Marita Hines Field. The final score, 16-0. Oklahoma wins it. For DJ Mathis, I'm Chad McKee. We enjoyed it. Hope you did too. We'll talk to you next time, Sooner Nation.